doubling down. I'm not yet ready. I want confirmation, but I'm not leaving this stock.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. That is Fat Man Zoom. The stock market is crazy and chaotic, and we made it our mission to help you own it. So if you want to learn more about the stock market and have some fun while doing it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the like if that's something you're into. Fat Man Zoom, what are we talking about today?
The Chaos Crew has spoken, Brad. We're talking about top stocks near their 52-week lows. So we got some good stocks, some interesting ones. I think you guys are going to like it. But first, before we get into that, I really want to talk to you about stocks near their 42-week lows and how they should trade them.
Yeah.
Because it was really hard for us to find stocks that are actually there. So a lot of these stocks are downward trending. And so what do people need to know going into trading a stock at its 52-week low?
Yeah, so I mean, like the big thing that everybody talks about, right, is buying stocks when they're low, selling them when they're high. It seems like a really simple concept, but it's a little bit easier said than done. And so in cases where you're looking at stocks that are at 52-week lows, there's a reason why they're down there. And so the biggest misconception about some of these is that, they're at 52-week lows, so then you start to have this mindset of, well, it's down this far.
Yep.
How much farther can it go? And the answer is a lot. It can go so much further. And we've seen this time and time again. And sometimes that's where people get in trouble. And so we have a term in the markets. It's called trying to catch a falling knife. You can just kind of imagine that metaphor, what it would look like. And so it's really important to understand that just don't go buying something because it's at its 52-week lows. And you have to really kind of understand where this might be headed.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot. We talk about scaling in all the time. We talk about confirmation all the time in our Chaos Crew. But I think the biggest thing we tell people is having an exit strategy.
Yeah.
Having a strategy in general, but what we see oftentimes is having an exit strategy. For 52-week lows, this is even more important because exiting out, these are ones you may have to cut your losses on.
Yeah.
So know when you're going to get out of them. Know when sort of like the brass tacks bottom is for you and your investment, because you can always get back in.
Correct.
Right? So that's exciting.
Yeah, and so then the next tip would be, if you're looking at a 52-week low, understanding where the bounce could end up being, trying to find the actual bottom of a stock. Lots of times you'll see where it comes down, and we're going to take a look at some stocks that might resemble this. We're looking at the absolute bottom of a chart where it actually starts to consolidate at its bottom and not just continually going straight down. So when it starts to, settle out, we're trying to start to see a little bit more of a reversal, buying starts to return. That's when you start to consider maybe putting some skin in the game, scaling in that way.
You talk about confirmation a lot. From a technical chart, when you're looking at a chart, what time frame and how many bars until you say, hey, I feel like confirmation has happened?
Typically, when I'm looking at stuff, and this is for the most part in all of my trading, I'm looking at the daily chart. That's usually my go-to because my strategy is swing trading. I'm looking to hold on to something for a few days, few weeks, maybe even a few months. When I look at something that's down to 52-week lows, I'm looking for at least some sort of buying that gets it up over a resistance of some sort. So if we start to see some consolidation, we start to see it break over maybe a previous resistance. And so it's not necessarily always, it's had 2 days of buying, maybe it's time to get in, but maybe it's breaking some sort of technical support that signals some sort of reversal.
All right. Anything else for them?
Yeah. So the last one for me will be just understanding the power of scale. You have an amount that maybe you want to spend on a specific stock, not going all in with the amount that you intend to go in with it, and just biting it off little pieces at a time. Instead of risking everything that you intended to risk all at once, scaling in and kind of seeing how things play out. Are you getting confirmation that we're seeing a reversal and that sort of thing? I think the power scale in and out of stocks can't be overstated.
All right. I like those. Guys, that's your feedback. Before we go on to the next section, you know what time it is? Thumbnail time.
Okay.
Hit it.
Harlem Shake.
All right.
Oh, man. I felt embarrassing.
That was great.
All
It's
right.
going to come out great.
All right. So,
girl.
as promised, we have 4 stocks that we think could be really decent, solid buys that are at their 52-week lows. And you got your first one. So what is it?
All right. I'm going to get this one out of the way. Clover.
Everybody knows.
Ticker symbol CLOV. I'm not backing down from it. I'm committed. Now,
yeah.
Some would say Fat Man Zoom, you're holding the bag. This is long-term swing trading. This is in my long-term swing trading account. So I have a year time horizon for this.
Can we bring some transparency to the fold too?
Sure.
What's your average price on it?
All right. So my average price, I'm full position on it, and it's $10.95. This will be another video I want to do, but I'm actually planning on doing a tax strategy on this and doubling down. I'm not yet ready. I want confirmation, but I'm not leaving this stock. I think bare minimum, this is a 10. But here's why I love it, Brad. Or let me talk about why it's at its 52-week lows.
Yeah.
So this was a SPAC, did well, had good earnings, but they had a Hindenburg article come out, and they were target of basically what Hindenburg said was that the DOJ investigation they tried to cover up. They didn't. It wasn't even an investigation. It was inquiry, which is basically the DOJ saying, hey, we're looking into stuff. We're not sure.
Right.
So I think it was unfair. You pointed out actually that Hindenburg wasn't even shorting it.
Right. They're not even in it.
Yeah, they're not even in it. And so I thought that was a little bit of BS. But on top of that, there's a class action lawsuit April 6th that the deadline's April 6th. So I'm waiting around till April 6th before I make any moves. I'm not going to do anything until then. Likely it's going to be a top stock for May, but I like this in the long term. This insurance company, there's some people that'll tell you that the insurance company doesn't have great margins. This is a digital tech company. And so I think you're going to see as they scale that they're going to be profitable quicker than people realize. That's another knock against it. And the last knock against it, I don't even know if this is a knock, but it has 35% short interest. I don't think that's a knock. I think that's a huge short squeeze opportunity.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you because I didn't know what the short interest was on this, and we saw 36%, 37% short interest on Rocket, and saw it double in a day.
Yeah.
So who knows what could happen with something like this. Looking at the charts here, I'm seeing this at $7.37. And I think that this chart has actually bottomed out at $6.31. Remains to be seen if that actually remains true. But looking at the last couple of days, some promise has shown up here. And it looks great, honestly. I think this is a really good opportunity. Again, we talk about scaling in. I think that 631 is probably going to be the bottom. Grabbing it at 738, starting to scale in, even where it's trading at right now, seems to make a whole lot of sense given how far this has come down. And the promise of Clover is pretty awesome too.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, this is a SPAC, a recent reverse merger. So this stock actually, we're looking for it to get over that $10. When it gets over that $10, bro, I think it's going to roll.
Yeah, me too. So for mine, number 2 is going to be CarLotz. LOTZ is the ticker symbol. We've talked about this one previously, and I just kind of wanted to reiterate what CarLotz actually engages in. So CarLotz right now is trading at all-time lows here. For the most part. Today, as of this recording, it had a little bit of a jump, but it's trading at $7.56. The all-time low is at $6.45. So it has been beaten down. Yet another reverse merger play, but this company is actually pretty good. If you are a company that has a fleet of vehicles and wants to get rid of them, it's going to be a big pain in the ass. You either try to sell them on your own or what have you, and then there's some sort of middleman. Where CarLotz, their business model is involved in just taking all those cars off of your hands, selling them direct to consumer, so there's no auctions to worry about. They actually take it upon themselves to fix any issues, car problems, whatever. Now, this kind of doesn't make for a great profit margin, but I think it's more along the lines of strength in numbers. We're seeing an increase in demand on vehicles in general. Once things start to open back up, I think we'll start to see businesses engage in more vehicle fleets. They're going to want new cars, all that good stuff. So I think that CarLotz really stands to benefit here. And the fact that this is priced all the way down where it is just doesn't make any sense. Looking at the chart right now, sitting at, like I said, it looks as if it seems to have really found a nice solid support at $7 even. We had a brief spike down at $6.45, but with it trading at $7.57, I still think it's cheap. In my opinion, I think this has the opportunity to get to $20 over the next 12 months.
Yeah, I agree. The one thing we haven't talked about is the potential of if, depending on how jobs return, how new cars versus used cars fare, because I think there's going to be a little bit of a push in used cars. So
I agree.
Keep that in mind. The next stock.
One thing I just want to bring up real quick, too, is that new cars, we've been talking about inflation new cars are costing more and more.
Yeah.
So used cars is going to be a huge demand for used cars for sure.
The next stock that I have on my list, let me ask you something. Would you say I'm a loving person?
Yeah. I love you, man.
I love you too. There's few things I love more than Big C. And that's going to be my next stock. Big C, ticker symbol BIGC, notorious BIGC, some would say. That's my next stock. I'm liking this stock, Brad. If you guys don't know what it is, basically its main competitor is Shopify. It's an e-commerce platform, SaaS, B2B, focuses on B2B.
Yeah.
And there's a couple reasons why I like it, in particular why we're bringing it to the table as of today. One is, people, listen to me, look at me. E-commerce isn't going anywhere. No. E-commerce growth isn't going to slow down.
Right.
And so that's one thing where I'm excited about. The next 3 years, analysts are projecting growth of 26%, which isn't bad. Each year, 26%. I think that's ridiculously low. My prediction for this year is 50% growth of Big C. The other reason why I'm excited is its Bitcoin exposure. It recently partnered with PaySafe and Coinbase.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, not Bitcoin, but actually crypto as a whole.
Yeah.
And so they're one of their recent clients that they partnered with. So I think there's going to be more, I'm interested to see if there is more in that space. So that's really exciting as well. We're looking for other opportunities for this crypto train, and I think BIGC is one of those.
I like this as well. You know, the jokes are going to run. You weren't heavily involved in the chat last night because you kind of left a little earlier, and our last video. All the V jokes? Yeah. So now we're talking about Big C. It's just going to continue to roll through. Anyways, so looking at this chart, I think that $50.59 is going to actually be the bottom. We're starting to see this turn up. I think that we're actually starting to see confirmation of a potential reversal. We get this up over $60. I think that that's when we really start to see some things roll here. The 50-day moving average is sitting around 66. So this obviously has plenty of room to run. Some resistances along the way, but if this breaks over 60, I like it a lot. But
before you go to your last stock,
what's up?
I want to let everybody know, if you like this content, make sure you subscribe and hit that little notification bell. We have videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday that come out. We're actually live this Sunday for Stock Watch Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you tickle that little notification so you get reminded about it.
There you have it. All right, Fat Man Zoom. If I told you that Warren Buffett has recently invested in an IPO and now it's trading near its all-time lows 6 months into trading, what would you say to that?
I would say you're smoking crack.
Yeah, well, it actually is a thing. Salesforce and Warren Buffett are invested in this stock, and it is Snowflake. So all the stocks that we put on here are SPACs except for Snowflake. And this one, no, I'm sorry. Big C was an IPO. So, but this is another one that, like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense as to why it's come down. It's over 40%, about 43% from its all-time highs. Now, granted, this ran like crazy, all the way up to $429 highs, sitting down here at the low of 205. It's just moved up a little bit slightly. I think that we're starting to see a turn on this as well. We get this up around 245. I think we're going to be in really good shape and start to move this up higher. The thing that people fail to understand is that I know there's a lot of people chasing the reopening plays, and there's definitely a good reason for that. But abandoning something like a Snowflake and some of the other really good quality tech stocks, in my opinion, is a mistake. I would come in here and scoop up some of the cheaper shares. Data storage is going to continue to increase in demand. Obviously, Salesforce sees the value in this. So does Warren Buffett. I like this one.
Yeah, this is a great one, and I think it's only a matter of time, probably around earnings, where, again, these tech stocks, unfortunately, by the timing of when the rotation happened, got a little beaten down. But I like Snowflake for show.
That's going to be it for our list, guys. Let us know what you think about this. And have you tried trading stuff at the 52-week lows? Is that something that you're actually interested in trading in? Let us know in the comments below. What's your favorite stock that's trading at an all-time low? We'd love to hear from you. Fat Man Zoom, anything else?
Stock Watch Sunday, 7:30 Eastern time. I better see your faces there. I'm hunting you down.
That's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, we'll see you before the bell.
Bye.
Peace out.